I moved to Bali in Jan 2026, and right now we're in April 2026. So it's been almost 2.5 to 3 months here. And I'm sharing very raw, very real my experience with being in Bali, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, because I don't gatekeep for what, honestly. And if you're here and if you're either like deciding to move to Bali or you are living in Bali or you've been there for months before and you can relate, I'd love to hear. Oh my cat just walked through. He's so beautiful. I have a cat and I'm in love with the cat, as you can see. He's my son. I call him Shiva. And let me actually bring him in for us. Everyone, meet Shiva. This is my cat. Whether you're coming to Bali, whether you've been in Bali before, whether you've lived here and you can relate to my experience, I'd love to know all about that in the comment section. Please comment. I want to know whether I am making sense to you guys. And I want to know whether you've had similar experiences and I'm not the only one, right? So, something that really gave me the biggest breakthrough, especially being from India, growing up in a matrix where the timelines, how things work, the rules of society, the structure to your life. Like you always have like a kind of goal for yourself. I want to get married before this age. I want to be a millionaire before this age. I want to work in this job by now. Then I want to start my own business. Like you kind of like have this structure when you're in India because you're looking at what everyone else is doing and what people have been doing for generations. And so you're like, yeah, this is how my life is going to go as well because that's how we're supposed to be living. And we don't really question it because so many generations before us or people in our environment are living like that on this kind of autopilot that we don't question it. And when you come to Bali, you see people living such different lives. Like people aren't married at the age of 50, people are still like having polyamorous relationships, people aren't earning their own money at the age of 40 and they're still relying on their parents. Their parents are paying for their rent, which is completely fine. Like it's completely okay. And then you realize there's no shame about these things. There's no judgment. But initially when I came here, I was judging. I was like, oh, how can they still rely on their parents' money? Or how can they not be married by this age? Don't they like want companionship? And I was judging, and that was because of my old mentality of how things need to be in society and in life that I ended up judging these people. And I realized internally that I was judging, that I was passing on a judgment. And then I was like, if I'm passing on a judgment on them, I'm probably going to judge myself if I'm in their place. But also, living life has taught me that I could be in their place, and that's completely okay. And that's not how I want to measure my success in life. I want to measure my success by something intangible, by my emotions, by the way I feel, by the way I regulate myself, by the way I hold myself when things don't go my way. That is how I want to measure success. I want my measurement of success to be completely in my control. I don't want to rely on all these external circumstances. And of course, you can create your reality and you can manifest things. And I do believe in that. And I believe that I can. But the timeline is something that you don't have any control on. The timeline, the how it's going to happen, it's not in your control. And so to fully let go of that, to not take control of that is beautiful because my entire life I've been the type A person taking control of how things are going to work, when it's going to happen by, having goals by a certain time, having short-term timelines which pressurize me and actually stress me the hell out. And that's also something that led to burnout a lot because I was just doing things in such a pressurized environment. And they say pressure makes diamonds or whatever, but like for me, a lot of pressure does not work. Like pressure does not work actually for me. I keep myself accountable because of I feel pulled by purpose and I feel pulled by a calling, and that's what keeps me accountable. I don't need to go through so much pressure to be accountable, to take actions. So it does the opposite for me. It takes a toll on my mental health, on my confidence levels. And when I came to Bali, my consciousness kind of expanded and opened up to all these different ways of living life and doing things and being okay with it and not shaming myself for it if that's me in the potential future. And it's okay to not want that. Like I really want financial independence and that's completely okay. But at the same time, if my mom is supporting me, to completely own that shit, to be like, she is supporting me and I want to own it. I want to use it to my leverage and take that support as love given to me, that I chose myself, I chose my family, I chose my parents, I chose the privilege that I'm born into. My soul chose it for a reason. And so instead of kind of shutting it out, actually feeling it and owning it is what's going to give me that abundance. and actually owning that I have the money, that I have the support, that my family is supporting me. And that was one of my biggest breakthroughs here, is going from scarcity to abundance. I was in this place of feeling like, what am I doing in Bali? I'm spending so much money. Yeah, Bali is not that affordable, by the way. I'm spending so much money on the villa, on the food I'm eating, on my workouts. And like, I don't see a lot coming in. Like, I am spending more than I'm earning, right? And I could see that as a failure. I totally could. Honestly, past Pratna would have seen this as a failure, but it's not, because the things I'm gaining, what I'm learning, all these intangible, beautiful, healing segments you can never measure, and it is truly priceless. And so I'm so proud of how far I've come. I honestly feel that I've grown so much. This was such a good decision. It was such a difficult decision, but it was such an important decision for me to leave home, to question all these beliefs. And sometimes you think that, oh, I'm already doing it. I'm already questioning status quo. I'm already being a rebel. You know, you really don't fully know until you see yourself in a different environment how much you haven't been questioning, how much there is to still question, how much you've been subconsciously judging yourself. And so when I left India and came to Bali, that's when it opened up to me that there were certain things that I was still judging, that I wasn't questioning, that I was just taking as, yeah, this is what success means, this is what I need to be doing by this age. Same with marriage, right? I feel like if I don't get married by 30, then that could mean I'm a failure in society, right? And so what if you're a failure in society? Are you happy? Is it truly, are you living an abundant life? Because then that puts you in the 1%, because guess what? The 99% that's following society is not abundant, is not happy, is not at peace, is miserable. So it's about the question of happiness, about fulfillment, about abundance. That's what success is, how you feel on a day-to-day basis. And so coming here has really transformed my definition of success and helped me go from scarcity to abundance, to feeling and seeing abundance everywhere in my life, to owning that I have the abundance, even though I'm not making more than I'm spending right now. So what? I have the abundance and I'm going to own it and I'm going to use it for my growth, for my development, for my healing. And one day I look back and be like, what was I even worried about? I know that. I genuinely know that's how I'm going to feel. So that's number one, which is redefining my success definition, going from scarcity to abundance, questioning everything. Number two was boundaries. I went for a retreat and I realized I was being a shapeshifter. I was just doing whatever everyone else wanted. And I've been the person, I'm a Leo, have a lot of fire energy. I've always asked for what I wanted. But in this retreat, I was surrounded by such powerful women that I shrunk. I played small because I just didn't feel worthy of being in that room. I didn't feel like I deserved. They were talking about their stories, and I was like, they've gone through so much. Like, I haven't been through half the traumas they've been through. And I kind of undermined my traumas and my experiences, and what I've been through has been so shitty. Like when I talk about it, I realize that I've been through so much in life. But when I listen to others, I'm just like, oh, what they've been through is so much more than what I've been through, so I don't deserve to be in this room, and I don't deserve to speak and tell them my story, because it's not a big deal. It's not going to make a best-selling book like theirs probably is, even without editing. Like, they just need to put their story in a book and that would be a best-selling book, because that's how crazy it sounds, that's how insane it is, that's how powerful it is. And mine is just not there yet, or not there, right? So I kind of undermined my experience, my story. I shrunk, I played small, I listened to everyone else. I was being trauma dumped. I had a roommate who was constantly, and I hope this is not reaching. I had a roommate that I felt like was constantly talking to me about her story every night. And I don't want to mention what, but it was a similar story I had. And I feel like subconsciously it really played on my mind. It really heavily took a mental toll on me. And it was only until the end of the retreat, like the last day, that I realized that I was being a shapeshifter. I was people pleasing. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't ask for what I wanted. I feel exhausted. And I was like, why do I feel so exhausted? Like, I don't have any energy. And I also decided to leave the retreat a day early, or rather people decided to stay another day, and I was like, I'm out of here, I can't do this, I'm sorry, I gotta go home, I got things to do. And I left. And I think I am so proud of that, because it would have been so hard for me to make that decision, especially someone who has been indecisive all my life. I've always asked others, what do you think, what do you think, what do you think? And there's this like poster on Bali that says that if you want to make the wrong decision, ask everyone. And I feel like that was just put there for me, because I ask so many people for their opinions, because it's lack of self-trust, it's lack of really deepening my intuition and listening to my body, because I know the answer better than most of my friends. And I realized this a lot over time of talking to my friends and asking them questions. I don't need anyone to give me an answer. I just need a sounding board sometimes. And honestly, I get the answer in my heart. For me, it's the heart, it's not the gut. I'm a projector in human design, if you know what that means. I make a decision by how expanded I feel in my heart center or how contracted I feel. So when I was at the retreat and I said, do I want to stay a day longer? Like, is that going to serve me? I immediately felt contracted. I felt like, nah, just gotta go. And I was like, well, how would I feel if I just left tomorrow morning and full on expansion? I felt expansion. And that's when I knew the decision immediately without having to talk to anyone about it. I just knew the decision. And so I left the next day. But and I was super happy. I honestly was on the ride back. I was feeling like I so needed this alone space. I was riding back home alone in this car. I had a lot of space. I was eating good food. I was just alone and I just loved that time to myself. And I really needed that alone time. And that's something I've learned when I was in India. I always thought I needed to be around people because I'm a single child. I have a lot of alone space, alone time in my house. And so I always felt like I need people around me. I need people around me. And in Bali, I do tend to have people around me quite a lot, right? Because I've made friends, I go out with them, I they make friends, and then we all go out in a group, and like it's like we are always hanging out with other people and other voices that I have like not been alone that much, which is wild. It's quite wild. At least recently I haven't like really been alone, and I've been craving alone time. And so even setting boundaries recently with people saying, hey, I just need to lock in today and I kind of need to be alone for that, if that's okay. Like sending that message out, even though it's so hard, I have been doing that. And I think learning how to set these boundaries and knowing that I actually love alone time, I love being with myself, I love listening to my own voice and my own heart, and I love spending time with myself. That was such a big revelation because in India I always felt like I needed to be around people, and over here, I just feel like I need to be alone. And I feel like I'm an ambivert of sorts. I need both, right? So that's something I've learned about myself being here. And I've learned that my energy is so precious. Like it can be so easily dysregulated by another source that is dysregulated. Like if someone, like if I've woken up and someone comes to me with chaotic energy, it like my energy field takes it all because I've just woken up. I haven't had time to protect myself. I haven't had time to sit with myself. I've just woken up and you come at me like, bro, I can't talk to anyone until I've like had a shan, eaten food in the morning. Like that energy is too much. So I've realized I'm very sensitive. Like my energy is very sensitive and it is very precious to me. And so I need to really look at it as an asset and set strong boundaries with people, hoping they'll understand. If they don't understand, then they're probably never the aligned people to be around, right? So that's number two. Number three is in Bali, you will see that everything is a ritual, right? Like everyone prays before they eat, before they do something. It's like there's so much prayer. It's a land of, they say, Mama Bali. Bali is your mom. You pray, you respect the land, you take care of the people. Everyone does that. Balinese people are the nicest. And so, like, really being respectful in this land is so important. Actually, 2 days ago, there was a man in this shack that we were at by the beach, and he was, oh my God, so furious. Like, he was cursing so loudly, and he was like, this man is smoking next to me, and I want him out. I'm not paying for my coffee until he's out. And we were just like, what? How is that connected? Like, he needs to still pay for what he ordered. And so the Balinese people were like, "Sir, you gotta pay. Like you ordered it, you gotta pay for it." And he was like, I can't pay for it. Like this man's smoking next to me." And he was like cursing them. And then everyone around was so shocked because you'd never see this in Bali. Like it's such a rare sight to see someone get so aggressive and it's so angry. And obviously he was probably a tourist, like he probably doesn't live here. Um, it was too much. It was too bad. He was like super negative force of energy, and I immediately like shrugged. I was like, I need to get out of here. Like this is too much for my nervous system. And I also knew like, yeah, my energy is too precious, too sensitive to this. I need to leave. Like I can't be here. And one of my friends even went to the washroom because she was like, she just left. Like she didn't say anything, she just left. Because a lot of times like my friends over here in Bali, we're all sensitive people. We all feel a lot. We're very deeply intuitive. And so this kind of thing does really impact your energy field. And so it's so important to like learn how to protect it and be intuitive with that. But yeah, like going back to what I'm saying is everyone over here is extremely kind, extremely sweet. The Grab drivers, the Gojek drivers, the people in the restaurants, the waitresses, all of them are so nice. They pray before doing things, their rituals. Everything is a beautiful prayer. Everything is abundance and gratitude. And being around these people, you realize that there's so much like gratitude is not a normal in life, right? Like at least back in India, it's not normal to be grateful all the time. Over here, it's so weird if you're not grateful. Like people are like, you see, I have been weirded out by people who are extremely grateful because that's not normal for me, right? So when I see someone who's so grateful, I'm like, what the hell? Like, Like, what's going on over here? Like, why are they being so grateful? And I'm not talking about toxic positivity, but I'm talking about like genuinely, there is so much each of us have to be grateful for. Like the sky, the roof over our heads, the water, the food, it's the most basic things that we don't feel gratitude for on a daily basis, but every single day you get to live is a gift. You are a gift to this planet. And like when you truly start seeing life from a lens of love, it all shifts. Like really, it does. And I know this sounds probably cliche or weird to you, but or maybe not. I hope it doesn't. But if it does, that just means that that breakthrough still needs to happen for you, where you start seeing things from a lens of love, where you start feeling grateful for everything around you without feeling like it's toxically positive, but actually looking at it as a gift from God that you get every day. There are people who don't get this. There are people who are fighting for their lives. And here you are living life, watching this YouTube video. Thank you for being here, having this beautiful life. And it's about just having that intentionality of being grateful for everything, praying before you eat, praying when things go well, praying when you're saved, praying when you met someone amazing. I met someone from India. She's amazing. Shout out to Tara. But it's just praying and being grateful for everything that happens, even the bad things, praying that God showed you something through that negative experience and being grateful for that, right? So prayers are everywhere, beautiful land, really magical place, and it makes you also tap into that magic and be more grateful and abundant in yourself. Even when things are not going your way, my business has not gone my way this time in Bali. I honestly thought it would shoot up. I thought my business would bloom in Bali, and it did not. And I feel like I'm on the edge of it, but it hasn't yet, right? And I want to be honest about that. It hasn't yet. And so I could just be sitting here and complaining and being like, it hasn't. And I feel horrible. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what's going wrong. I don't know why it's not working. But instead, I'm feeling so grateful because my success definition has shifted. And so I'm constantly in a state of high vibration and abundance because my success definition has changed. Like the number one thing, when I shifted my success definition, I started feeling abundant in just being and just like feeling the life that I'm here to live. Seeing everyone's different timelines really helped for me to shift that, but I hope this video actually helps you question that and shift it for yourself so that your success definition is fully in your control right now, right? And not dependent on a timeline or something external. Okay, and lastly, I want to talk about something that not a lot of people speak about in Bali, which is unstable community. But also there is a consistent community here if you're living here for good. I'm leaving soon to India, and that's why I wanted to create this video right now. It's 8th of April. I'm leaving on 21st, and I wanted to share how I have been feeling dysregulated because of making friends with people and then them leaving, and then making friends and then them leaving. People move around a lot, people move for different reasons, or people leave altogether, and it's been dysregulating because I've made some really nice friends and then they've left. And that's okay because it gives you that opportunity to then open yourself up to new people. Um, but I think for me, it's been dysregulating because my business has been up and down with the income. The community has been up and down. Yeah, I think those are the two main things. And so it kind of showed me that I have to build a much deeper relationship with myself and trust myself during these highs and lows that I'm having. And that's great because that's something I've learned is to really take care of myself in the moments when I didn't have anyone. And Bali teaches you that. Bali will take care of you and will give you the strength to take care of yourself. And it just showed me that I could trust myself a lot more. I already did trust myself, but this was like a huge push that you can really trust yourself. But like it's just hard when you make friends with people and then they leave and then you get attached. And it's about learning to regulate when they leave and empowering yourself and being there for yourself and holding yourself and having yourself all the time because it's difficult. It's not easy. My journey the past 3 months were not easy at all. I was far from it. I had some of the most beautiful days, the most abundant days, sitting at the back of a bike and just looking around and feeling this abundance, this love for life. And then there were days where I woke up with a mental breakdown, with a crash out. I was like, oh, life's falling apart. What's going on? So I had those highs and lows, and It is what it is, but I'm really grateful for this whole journey. And I think Bali gave me a lot. And I do feel like I'm a different person. And I feel like I'm more intuitive and I'm more in my body and I'm trust myself more and I love myself more and I also believe in my inevitable success so much. Like the fact that my business didn't do well or like didn't really give me a lot of returns monetarily this time, it hasn't affected the fact that it won't in the future. I always think about like a plan B. Like if this doesn't work out, then I need a plan B. There is no plan B for me, guys. This is it. This is what I was born to do. This is my purpose. This is my calling. There is no plan B. This will work because I will work it. Like there is no other way. Like this will work because I will work it. There is no other way. There is no other vision. There's one possibility I'm working towards. That is this working. That this business becomes the biggest thing ever beyond life. Impacts millions of people around the world, doing retreats, doing this, doing that. I actually want to like, this is like something that you could do if this calls out to you. I'm going to record after this video a voice note to myself from my future self. I'm going to listen to it every morning. Actually, listening to your own voice is so powerful. And I'm going into a little bit of like a tangent over here, but I really hope that maybe this is a sign, maybe you needed to hear that, right? Um, I'm gonna do that after this video, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you enjoyed my learnings, my takeaways. It was really raw, really authentic, everything I truly felt. I do think I've changed a lot as a person. I don't think a lot of my friends probably see it yet, and they might see it when I go back to Bangalore, India, but I feel it in my body, in my cells, and I'm feeling a lot more at peace and a lot more happy with myself, with where I am. I don't feel like, oh, my business didn't do well or this is not working. I feel really happy because I fully trust my pace and my timing, and I know that the timing that society had already laid out for us was setting us up for failure. That timing that society said to us was not, it's a setup for failure. And that's because I know most people who have followed it and are miserable. And so I'm not choosing that. I'm choosing my own pace, I'm choosing my own timeline, and I'm choosing to be abundant and alive every single day of my life. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. A little bit about me is that I'm an alignment coach for entrepreneurs. I help them go from burnout to feeling alive in their lives every single day, to creating something that they're in love with and falling in love with the process so much so that they detach from the outcome. Right? So that is my main transformation, and I'd be so happy to help you if you're looking for support in your entrepreneurship journey, because I know how difficult that is, how turbulent that is. And I want you to trust yourself more, to regulate yourself more, to be at peace and feel alive and create something that the world will truly know you for. If that calls out to you, then just DM me at Purpose with Pratna and we can get on a consult call and see how that works. But regardless, thank you for being here. I hope you had takeaways from this beautiful video. And if you're planning to come to Bali and have any questions, you can reach out to me at Purpose with Pratna on my Instagram. That's where I'm most active. Thank you for being here. Take care. Have an amazing day ahead, guys. Bye.